You guys want to see what has been done in this enclosure since Wednesday? I will show you. Hard explaining erosion to someone who doesn't work with dirt every day. The back seating that's begun is actually crazy. We have erosion back seaters now.
You want to get on top of this with me?
Sure, right now.
Yeah. Let me make sure I can.
You make sure you can. I'm going to show them what's happened in the past couple days. Pond, waterfall, where that Ryobi is, river that leads into the pond. And then pump here. It's amazing. And then over here, we did this last night. Me, Connor, Space, Nick, and Caleb with a C. We're all out here until like 9:30 or something last night. And we made these paths, and we're gonna plant grass in this dirt as well. So hopefully there will be grass here and grass that grows in between these paths. I did this path, smile. Connor did this path. Okay, again, river, looks amazing. They're killing it. Look, we got grass sprouting. You see that? You see that? Grass path, or grass patch. We pretty much finished platforms yesterday. How will you cut the grass without coming in the enclosure? We have to go in the enclosure daily to maintain it. Space and I did these ladder rungs. What do you think? Be honest. For traction, because Lindsay was watering the grass yesterday, and then this ramp got really slippery, and we were like, oh wait, it's slippery. So then we added sticks. Nice. Connor added this little platform, so it's less steep, easier for them to go up. And then Lindsay wanted more width on this platform, so we added another 2x6, and then we added sticks to that one as well. They can climb it a little easier. This den is finished. It's actually significantly cooler in there as well, and noise reduced, which is exciting. Did you pre-drill the sticks? What if I said no? Are you gonna one-guy me after it's already done and you didn't even watch me do it? That's electrical because we're gonna have den cams. But yes, I did pre-drill the sticks. Yes, den cams so you can watch them sleeping. But yeah, that's pretty, oh, and then we extended the berm again. Or the girls extended the berm, so won't they chew through the wood, especially the sticks? We don't know what they're gonna chew on yet. I know that they will chew stuff, but we're just gonna have to come in and replace as we see fit. But all the stuff that we have in here, that we'll have in here, is okay, like safe for them to chew on if they decide to do that. So we've extended this berm. There's also, it's seeded. So there's grass gonna be in here, and there's some straw as well. Stolen, thank you for the 5. And then the berm is also extended to here. There's a gap because we're still driving through it. But it's the rest of the berm that goes up to here, to their other den. So this is their second den. And then, hey, I'm live right now. What?
We haven't been able to have a conversation for like 5 days.
Actually, yesterday we talked for like 9 minutes.
Okay, the world is healed. What are you doing on the stream?
Building the wolf enclosure.
Oh, always the wolf enclosure, never the cutie enclosure.
Sorry, I'll work on it.
Alright, enjoy your stream.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
No, she's not drunk. This is another ramp.
I would not come up here and catch it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. This is another ramp, but it needs to be extended. It's way too narrow right now, and we're gonna do sticks on this as well. But the dream is that it encourages them to not walk up the hill itself because of the grass. But yeah, Connor built this ramp as well yesterday. You guys love ramps? Well, the wolves that we're getting, I'm doing one more context run, all right? And then you guys got to use your commands to answer your questions. We're rescuing 2 wolves. They're technically wolf dogs. Maybe I can go over here and it'll be quieter. Here, come film me in the den. It's really loud, sorry. You can stay here, I'll go in here. check out how quiet it is in here. All right, so we're rescuing 2 wolf dogs. They're hybrids, hybrid gray wolves. They're probably 70 to 80%, but we need to do DNA tests once they arrive here to see what exactly they are. Those are the 2 wolves that we're rescuing. They're technically geriatric. They're 10 years old, but wolves can live 16 to 17 years under human care. So the dream is that they live another like 7 years in this enclosure, which is very exciting. They're non-releasable because they're wolf dogs. They were bred in captivity, raised in captivity, and they're not full wolves, so they're not candidates for release. But they are afraid of people. I don't know to what extent because I've never met them before. But we will see. We will see once they get here how afraid of humans they are. We will never be able to go in the enclosure. Well, not never. We will likely not be able to go in the enclosure with them ever just because they're wolves and they're very dangerous. But we do need to clean this enclosure every day. So we have 2 enclosures kind of. One is much smaller. It's behind you right there. That is their switch pen. So if we need to clean this giant enclosure, then we'll move them into the switch pen with food and then clean the big enclosure. And when we need to clean the switch pen, we'll move them into the big enclosure and clean the switch so that we're never inside with them. What other, there's 1 male and 1 female, they're both fixed. What other major questions am I missing answering that people are gonna ask? If they're bred in captivity, you probably can. We have this in, they are non-releasable wolves, I promise. How many cams in total? The dream is 4. We are not breeding these wolves, they are both fixed. Oh, we wouldn't wanna breed them anyway. I don't know exactly what their old enclosure looks like right now. Their names are Awa and Timber. What do they eat? They eat, right now they're on a mixture of kibble and raw diet. We are going to do, they'll eat about 15 pounds of meat each per week. So they'll eat a massive combination of stuff, whatever we can get really. They'll eat beef, they'll eat chicken, they'll eat duck, they'll eat bison, deer. There are wolf facilities in the US that feed roadkill when they have access to it. I recently got in contact with a local farmer who has a bunch of excess parts that they can't sell at farmers markets. They sell at farmers markets in Austin. So I'm picking up a bunch of chicken heads, turkey necks, and duck parts from a farmers market on Saturday for the wolves. Also, on Saturday, we're having a, and they're donating that, which is awesome.
_Sarah resubbed for 12 months.
Thank you, thank you.
Wow.
Did you have the enclosure inspection yet? Yes, we did. We passed our USDA inspection with flying colors. The wolves do know each other. They live together right now. How easily can they jump that fence? Not easily at all. It's not possible for them to jump this fence. We have built this enclosure to regulation, USDA standards. Someone asked about the double fencing. There are 2 fences. That's a USDA requirement. And then also we have a 3-foot cantilever. That's that angled inward piece of the fence. So they're not able to jump out. What will the wolves get for enrichment? Lots of stuff. Some foraging enrichment, like the foxes, they'll get food in boxes and in toys and stuff like that. And they'll also get scent enrichment. We have a lot of ideas for distributing scents, novel scents around this enclosure because they experience the world a lot through smell. So rosemary and hair from our other animals that's been frozen to be sanitized. Goat poop that's been frozen for sanitization. Also scent enrichment. What kind of enrichment do wolves like? Are you trolling? I'm kidding. The nature of being live is tough for education sometimes. Okay. All right. Have you talked about the cost to maintain them? Not really. Because they're older, we may run into more veterinary costs. You never know, right? Before we get them, we don't know what kind of veterinary costs we're going to run into. So we may have higher costs there. And then also, because they're eating so much meat, usually our produce cost weekly for all the animals is like $50. Because we go to the produce and we buy animals and we do chop for like the parrots and the chickens and stuff. $50 a week for produce, that's not the only thing they eat, but like for produce is whatever. This past week, Kayla purchased meat because it was before I found anyone that was willing to donate any meat, and our bill went up by like $100 a week. That won't continue that way because my dream is to get a bunch of meat donations, but our costs will definitely increase having these 2. Yeah. What are the wolves teaching at Alveus? Excellent question. So like all the animals at Alveus, look at that. That's so sketchy. That's so sketchy. That's so sketchy. So like all the animals that we have at Alveus, all of our ambassadors are non-releasable, unfortunately, so they're not candidates for release into the wild. So their options are either remain under human care and teach people about their species, or euthanasia, unfortunately. And so for these wolves, we're hoping we can give them the absolute best quality of life possible and get to teach people all around the world like you guys about wolves.
Resubbed for 6 months.
Thank you. So we'll teach you guys about wolves. One, again, they're both wolf dogs. So we've spent hundreds of years domesticating the perfect dog, the perfect domestic companion for man. And then people came in and they were like, let me throw a wolf back in there into what we've domesticated and perfected and make a wolf dog that cannot be in my home. So that's something that we'll teach people about, is the pet trade. And then we'll also teach people about the importance of wolves in the wild. I'm sure you guys have heard about Yellowstone. Wolves as a keystone species, they're apex predators. They're insanely important for regulating prey populations, and they're an insanely important part of their ecosystems wherever they are in the world. So
8,800 subbed for the first time.
thank you. So we'll talk about wolves for that reason, and then we'll also talk about the historic persecution of wolves. There's been a long history of farmers having issues with wolves and their livestock and killing off wolves. One of the biggest threats that wolves face today is humans, whether it's vehicles or hunting. So we'll talk about that as well. There's a lot to talk about with wolves. It'll be really interesting. I'm really excited for these wolves to teach lots of people, and I hope that they're very, very happy here. Oh yes, don't they need to be in a cold climate? Isn't Texas hot? What are they going to do with the heat? A couple things. Number one, they have a pond that's right behind you. It's going to be kind of hard to show. But we have a pond and we have a river, so they will constantly have water and running water. So constant water source that they can go into. But then also behind you, they have a 30 by 30 foot building that's going to be insulated, and they'll have air conditioning in there. And then in this den that I'm sitting in, that they have obviously 24/7 access to, it's like a 10-degree temperature drop because it's insulated with a pond liner and dirt.
Night and day difference.
It's a night and day difference, yeah. So yeah, they have access out of the elements for sure. Do wolves like to swim? I don't know, you guys are gonna have to see on Saturday in 3 days. Just kidding, they definitely won't like go swim in the first, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do the first day. I want you guys to note, when they come here on Saturday and we do the wolf party and we're like, the wolves are home, I don't think they're gonna like run out of their enclosure and bounce around and howl at the moon and be like, I'm so happy to be here. They will just have done like a really, really long drive from their former facility. They will just have done a vet check. And so they're probably gonna be really stressed. They're probably gonna be really shy. Just like be aware of that. It's gonna be a really, really big transition for them to be here. So we'll see.